Hey, good morning, good morning, well, afternoon, wherever it in this beautiful world of ours. Let's see who comes in. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it may be in your part of the world. Ooh, that's a big hump. So I wanted to come on and just have a little chat. There's been a lot going on for the last 6 or 7 months. Actually, since last year, there's been a lot going on in the economy. A lot of things going on in the economy. Layoffs every day, mass layoffs. I see that. Good morning, GM is having a temporary shutdown. They say it's temporary, but we'll see exactly how temporary it is. But they're having a temporary shutdown because of shortage in parts, supposedly. And I say supposedly because nowadays we don't know what's the truth and what's not the truth of what these companies tell us. But they are laying off a bunch of people, and then we have Salesforce laid off 4,000 people. Good morning. Salesforce laid off 4,000 people. I saw that, and I actually did a video on Kohl's Quality Foods. They abruptly shut down a factory. There's another company I recently did a video on as well. They abruptly shut down. The people worked their shift the night before. The next day they went to work, told everybody that we're having a meeting, and the meeting was grab your stuff, and today is your last day. Effective immediately, we're closed. Adios, amigos. And they did say that they were going to pay people 40 hours for the next 60 days. But there was one lady on there, she was saying, 40 hours? That's not enough. I'm used to working at least 70 hours a week. And I'm like, whoa, homegirl she was working. Nothing wrong with that. But what are we doing to prepare? I mean, I'm just wondering, are the majority of people burying their head in the sand, pretending like they don't know what's going on in the economy? Maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't watch the news. And I'm not saying watch the news every day, because sometimes with the crazy that's going on in the world, the news it can have you paranoid, stressed out, hiding under the covers. But we do have to know what's going on in this world. We cannot just be oblivious to things. We have to know what's going on so we can prepare for our future. And I'm just wondering, when people say, I'm shocked, it's like, did you not see production was down in your company? And maybe they didn't, but this is why I'm always telling people, we have to have more than one source of income, because these jobs ain't loyal, y'all. These jobs ain't loyal. You go to work one day, work your shift, everything appears to be fine. Go to work the next day and they tell you they're closing abruptly. Now, they knew they were closing before that night before. They knew they were going to be closing. It was no surprise to the powers that be. There was no surprise to the powers that be that make decisions, but they chose to wait till the last minute. If they would have told people ahead of time, they could have had a choice to prepare. Now, some people They won't prepare anyway. They'll know what's coming, and they'll just complain, and the oh woe is me. People won't be prepared, even with the warning. But they could have told people. I have this clipped in the wrong place today. Sorry, you guys. Gotta keep adjusting my phone. But they could have told people. But of course, they're looking for the powers that be, the stakeholders, upper management. When I mean upper management, I mean the C-suites. These jobs ain't loyal. And we have to learn to be prepared and protect our own selves, because go to work today, no job tomorrow. And unless you live somewhere where there is a very strong economy and you can get a job quickly, you're going to be in a world of trouble. And a lot of places where these factories are, there's not a diverse industry where you can get a job, another good paying job in the same place in a short and a quick period of time, so that you won't be financially impacted. A lot of places that's not the case, where there is a lot of factory jobs. So that's why I'm always telling people, we have to get out of the mindset that we're just going to go to work, do our 9 to 5, and go home. We better learn how to monetize our genius. What do I mean by that? Monetize what it is that you know, what you do, and what somebody is willing to pay you for. We all have something that we can do outside of our job that can give us an additional stream of income. We got to stop being afraid. We got to stop being lazy. We got to put our hands to the plow and get to work. Monetize your genius. Don't get caught slipping and get laid off one day, or maybe not even get laid off. You may not get laid off, but your hours may get cut. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were telling me that their coworker applied for a job to be a substitute teacher. Well, let me back up a little bit. The person, their coworker told them about a job to be a paraprofessional. The job pays way more than this person works right now. Pays pretty good. It's going to come with benefits, giving a lot more than what she has, that her current job gives her. So she went and applied. The people liked her. She's just waiting on her background check. Good morning, good morning, good morning. One thing they don't teach in school is how to grow food. That's exactly right. We need to learn how to plant a garden, grow your own stuff, because it's going to get rough out here. It's already rough for some people. It's already rough for some people. But she applied for the job. Everything went well. And I told her, I said, she was telling me that she told a person she applied and what have you. And I told her, I said, even though she told you about the job, you should not have told her that you applied for the job. Because these co-workers, they are not loyal. These co-workers, they will stab you in the back. Now, I'm not saying that particular co-worker will, but you can't trust people that you work with. You cannot trust people that you work with the majority of the time. They will set you up. Hi, good morning. They will set you up and be the downfall of you getting fired. So I told her, no, you can't, you shouldn't say nothing. And she comes back to me and she's like, well, such and such says that the company likes for us to give a 2-week notice. Now, this company is not no top-notch company. What she's doing is not no top-notch job. It's not an executive position or what have you. I told this individual, I said, don't tell them that you got another position, and do not give them a notice, because these type of people are what you're saying, but it has been going on at the job, and this is the kind of company that you'll try to be courteous and give them a 2-week notice, and they'll tell you, oh, you can make today your last day. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Helmet Chill. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm on my way to my mother's. I have the privilege of homeschooling my two oldest children. My two younger children, they still go to public school because I feel like they need some more social skills. My youngest, my baby boy, particularly, even though he went to kindergarten readiness last year, which was basically kindergarten, because he went to school from 8 to 3 all day, just like as if he was in regular kindergarten. This year he started kindergarten. He still goes to public school, but my two older kids, the I have the I'm blessed to be able to homeschool my two older children. I felt like they weren't getting exactly everything they needed in the public school, so I took my oldest one out of public school year before last, I think it was. Then my second oldest, I took him out of public school. So my mom and my dad, they went across country from here in North Dakota to Maryland and North Carolina, and they took my kids, and they had a chance to go with them. They've been gone for 3 weeks. My kids have never been away from me that long. They've been gone 3 weeks driving cross country on a road trip with their nana and papa, and it was nice and quiet at home and stuff, but I'm ready for my babies to be home. But I thank God I've had it really is a privilege, and I don't take it lightly. I know a lot of people don't have that privilege, but I get the privilege to homeschool my children and make sure they're getting what they need. And that gives them the opportunity to be able to do things like take a 3-week road trip with their grandparents. My kids are 11, 10, my little stair steppers, 11, 10, 7, and 5. So yeah, so they'll officially start school next week. Some people may think it's unconventional, but hey, as long as they get their 180 days worth of schoolwork in, I'm good. Don't come on here with the foolishness with Charlie Kirk or what have you. You're trying to get a rise out of me. That ain't gonna happen. But thank you very much for watching and helping with the YouTube algorithm. White Wolf Rose, the devil is alive. We ain't come on here for that. So you have a blessed day. May God keep you and protect you, and may you get your soul right with Jesus. Thank you very much. But yeah, Hammer Chill, co-workers can be jealous of you. Especially the ones that think you're doing good. They will be jealous of you. Good morning, happy birthday. They will be jealous of you, and they will conspire against you. So this person was like, oh, she was telling me, oh, they should, like, for you to give a 2-week notice, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And I told her, I said, don't give them a notice. Don't give them a notice, because this is the type of job that's going to tell you can make today your last day. And you need all your money up until you start this new job. Because the new job, they already told her when she's going to get paid. She's going to get paid on October 13th. So I'm like, that's a long period of time for you to be waiting for a paycheck. And you don't have your current job if you get let go before that. So don't give them a notice. Plus, these jobs ain't loyal. They're not going to give you no 2-week notice if they try to get rid of you or decide to get rid of you. So the same co-worker that told her about giving a 2-week notice, she applied for a job to be a substitute teacher. She got the job. She went and told them or what have you. How about them? Help me, Lord. How about those people cut her pay, downgraded her title, downgraded her duties? When the person told me that, I said, this is exactly why I told you, do not tell them that you're leaving, because they are not loyal and they don't care about you. Very few employers really have a heart for their employees, and some of them are just petty. They know they need to work, they know they need workers, they know they short staffed, but because they're petty and they're ignorant, they'll do stuff like that. And I remember, and what Hammond Chill was talking about, he said that coworkers will be jealous of you. That's absolutely right. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. So my husband, some years ago, he worked for this company, and when he came home, he would always be telling me about the supervisor. Oh, he said he bought this. He bought $300 worth of salmon. Now this is before inflation. You know, $300 worth of salmon is nothing nowadays with inflation. Oh, every time this particular person was always bragging about what he has and what I said to my husband, I said, he wants to be top dog. He wants to be top dog because he's always bragging about what he's got. He bought this, he bought that. And my husband went and got a new car. I told my husband, I said, don't drive that car to work. Well, if you drive that car to work, you're going to have problems. Because I already peeped that these people were a trip. They want to be top dog. They want to, oh, I'm the only one doing good around here. You know those type of people. What happened? He drove that car to work, ran into problems. But found another job, needless to say, and he learned, when your wife try to tell you about these people on your job, you better listen. You better listen, because these jobs ain't loyal. Co-workers will try to do you in for petty stuff, no reason, no justifiable reason. So you got to look out for yourself. But be prepared for what is coming down the pipeline. You know, we have to prepare ourselves. The economy is taking a hit. People say we're coming in a recession. I believe we're already in a recession. People, they are just not saying it. I can see the signs of the recession. And if nobody else can see the signs of the recession, you're just hiding under the cover and you're in straight denial. You're just in denial. So, but we gotta be prepared. I've been telling people for the last probably over 2 years to be prepared for a recession. I did a whole teaching on how to prepare for the recession, being recession ready. People thought I was crazy. Oh, we're not having a recession. Oh, there's no recession. The economy is strong. Okay, but I know what the Lord showed me as far as the recession coming. I didn't know when it was coming or how it was going to happen, but I know what the Lord told me. So, y'all trying to get a rise out of me, but you're really not. You're just helping the algorithm. So thank you for showing your ignorance. You're talking about me, but you wasted your time to come on my live to watch me, to help my algorithm with spewing hateful comments or whatever. But whatever. So, but I've been telling people to get ready for the recession. People are like, oh, we're not gonna be in a recession. Where are we now? Jobs laying off every day. There's more and more layoffs. People getting laid off every day. More and more people are getting laid off. People keep saying, I've seen, like, I don't know how many videos, countless videos of people saying they applied for 1,000 jobs. They'll go in for the interview. They'll tell them come back for a second or third interview, and then they get ghosted. I've seen, I don't know how many people have posted a video on TikTok saying that. Black people, white people, everybody from all different walks of life, from all different jobs, from people in tech to people that are applying for jobs at Olive Garden and saying they're having a hard time finding a job or what have you. It's just ridiculous. And people want to believe that we're not in a recession. People, oh, everything's okay. Everything's okay. You got to be really delusional. You got to be really delusional. So, and this is nothing new. About every 10 or so years, the cycle repeats itself. And maybe a little over 10 years, a little less than 10 years, but every history repeats itself. But you have to be prepared. What is your question? But you have to be prepared. And how do we prepare? Be prepared? Not depending on just our job. Yes, that Kohl's video, that Kohl's quality foods is brutal. And people want to act like nothing is going on. It's happening. I've been posting videos on layoffs since last year. You can go back and see where I did a video on Boeing. You can see where I did a video on UPS, where I was talking about the union. Now, I'm all for the union. I think having a union is great. I think it's a good thing to have a union. However, UPS, they negotiated that big contract, the biggest deal for their truck drivers ever in UPS history. What happened? Right after that, they laid off a bunch of people. And I'm like, you guys are requesting higher wages, which is nothing wrong with requesting higher wages. Everybody should be paid a fair wage to be able to live, take care of yourself and your family without the need for government assistance. However, you got to be able to read the room. You don't know that the company you work for is not making any money like they used to? You're not an investor in the company's stock option? And I'm not talking about just for UPS. I'm talking about for in general. You don't know that the company that you work for isn't making profit like it used to? But you're striking and demanding more money. Tell me how that makes sense. How does that make sense? Profit is down, but you're striking and demanding more money. And I'm not saying that you don't deserve more money, but does it make sense? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. If you feel like, or it may be reality, that you don't have, they're not paying you enough money, but you have to get an additional source of income and not just rely on that job to where you're at the point of you're demanding more money, and then you negotiate a better contract and then you can start getting laid off. So now you have no money. And I'm not against the union. I'm all for the union. Unions, people should get paid a decent wage. They should get part of the profits of the company. I'm not against that. But you got to have more than one stream of income. You have to have more than one stream of income. You just can't depend solely on your job. Because you're going to wake up one day and they're going to tell you that hours are cut, or you're going to go to work one day. Everything was fine the night before, and now get your things where it closed effective immediately. And then what happened? Because most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. We're in debt up to the yin yang. The average car note is over $700 a month. And most cannot even afford that $700 a month car note. They're just living above their means, but because they qualified you for it, you're going to go ahead and buy it. Instead of getting out of debt, getting out of consumer debt. So if you get laid off or if your job cuts hours, you're not behind the 8 ball. If you're married and you're buying a home and both of you work, don't buy a home using both of your income. Buy a home using just one income. Now, I know some places are very expensive. You need both incomes to be able to qualify to purchase a home because homes are so expensive. But if you live somewhere where the cost of living is still reasonable and you can buy a home where you don't need both income, do that. Who says you got to buy the greatest and latest house, the brand new house with the high taxes, the high HOA? Who cares? Who are you trying to impress? Buy something with one income, so in the event that if you or your spouse loses income, the other person can afford to pay the mortgage. And you're not worried about, oh, I can't pay the mortgage, I'm about to lose my house, I'm going in foreclosure. If you don't have a car note, that's one less thing you have to worry about. That's one less thing you have to worry about if you lose your job. My husband and I, we own 3 cars, paid in full, no car note. Are they brand new? No. Do they get us to where we're going? Yes. I drive a 2009 Toyota Corolla. I bought it from a older lady. Hardly any miles on it. My husband drives a 2010 Toyota Tundra. And then we have a 90-something Ford. I think it's a Ford Escape. A Ford something. My aunt gave it to us when she moved out of North Dakota. She didn't want to sell it, so she just gave it to us. All of them are paid for. We can afford to keep full coverage on the vehicles. So in the event if we get in a bad accident, it's a total loss, we'll get something for them. I'm not worried about, oh, is my car going to get repoed? Locking it in my garage or trying to hide it at somebody's house because I'm afraid my car is going to get repoed. My cars are paid for. Before my husband and I purchased our home, we got out of consumer debt. Why? Because we didn't have to worry about paying anything besides our mortgage. And of course, bills you can't avoid. You're going to always have a light bill, a water bill, unless you're living off the grid. And living off the grid is not for me. But we got out of consumer debt. We got out of consumer debt before we bought our home. We bought a home using just one income, just my husband's income. And we said, buy a home using just his income. We'll use my income to buy an investment property. And then we didn't purchase at the top of what they said we were approved for. We ran the numbers, figured out what amount of mortgage we could comfortably afford with my husband just paying the mortgage that he could cover with one paycheck. And that's how we decided what we could afford. We didn't go with the banks that we qualify. Oh, for this, so we're going to look for something at the top of the budget. Now, it did get a little rough, and we were like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be possible. But we kept looking, and it happened. You just got to be intentional. You got to be intentional, and you got to quit trying to keep up with the Joneses and try to impress whoever. Forget that. Because when you're trying to impress people and keep up with the Joneses, them same people, when you lose your job, are not going to be able to help you. They're not going to be able to help you when you need food on your table. When you need food on your table, they're not going to help you. They're going to talk about you behind your back. They're going to laugh at you. Oh, you shouldn't have did that. Well, you shouldn't have had that high-priced car, and blah, blah, blah. But hey, you wanted to impress all those people. Why am I telling my husband's business? First of all, I'm not telling my husband's business. And the problem with the situation with the car where he drove a car to work that I told him not to drive to work. Child, that was 10 plus years ago. Okay? Whatever. That was 10 plus years ago. And I'm telling people that to help them not make the same mistakes. Okay? You're here talking about the wrong thing. Obviously, you're not listening. But I just wanted to get on and, let people know, get ready. We're already in a recession. If you're not ready, get ready. If you've lost your job, don't panic. Don't panic. Keep hope. Keep your hope alive and keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward and figure out what it is that you know or that you do that you can turn into a business. If you have a side hustle, start working that side hustle. Really ramp it up. Really ramp it up. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Even the ones on here that came in with the stupid stuff, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for helping push out this video. Thank you for helping the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate it. Until next time, be blessed and have a prosperous future.